Did you know that the head of Xbox at the time almost cut the Lancer from Gears of War because they were really worried about its graphic nature? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 203. My name's Gareth Broding, going to be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. James Burks. How you doing, James?
Hey, good to be here again. 2 in a row.
Two in a row. I know, amazing.
It's ongoing.
Yes. On my virtual right is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Gareth. I'm glad to hear the hey-heys have made a comeback. So, in that spirit, hey.
Paul's got internet problems again, so he can't talk over us, which is a good thing. Or we'll cut out. So just to let everyone know, just in case he does cut out and becomes a robot, it's not he's having a stroke because of his age. He's sick of hearing now. And on my virtual opposite is Mr. Darren Edwards. How you doing, Darren?
Hello, good evening. I'm very well. How are you, Gareth?
Very good. Very good. Right, we're going to go straight in because this is the second part of our showcases. Well, that's our only second part. Only two of them. We're going to talk about Xbox today and briefly going to talk about Ubisoft. Let's talk about Xbox first of all. As I always like to do at the beginning, we'll go through all the games, things that are interesting, we'll chat about each one if we can fit it in. Did we like Xbox, first of all, without giving anything away? Paul, what did you think? Did you think it was a good one?
I thought the only misstep that they made was not having some random person with a stupid name helping out with the presentation. Other than that, it was flawless.
Good. Poor Curious Joe. And Darren, what did you think?
I don't normally get hyped for things like this, but I thought it was one of the strongest showcases I've seen in years, not just Xbox, but across the board.
James, you don't feel the same, do you, James? I know you do.
I think to create a little bit of balance here, I thought it was very, very good, but it was a little bit lacking in indie. And, I need a little bit of joyfulness in my games. It was all quite dark, for the most part. Otherwise, very, very good.
Yeah. I mean, it was a strange because there was a lack of indie games in that one. It's the only thing. And some people would go, thank God for that. But we're big fans
We need variety.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Say that again, Paul.
No, never mind.
That was it. Yeah, it was very good. I think for me, it was like, you don't need studio audiences. You don't need it. I'm sorry to say. It's great for the people who come and watch stuff, in their room themselves, but for the rest of us, we don't care. We just like sort of game. What I really liked about it is games. Someone comes in like Phil Spencer, talks for about a minute, then someone else came in and talked for about a minute, and then we had the end bit, and that was it. And it's like,
you just ignore that, can't you?
Yeah.
You just tune it out for a minute, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, it's great. That's what we want. Good. Should we go straight in and talk about some things? We can go through in the kind of rough order. Shout if I've missed something. There's a couple of bits I've missed here. First big one, which we all knew about, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which was, we saw a kind of trailer for the story and everything else. I know none of us are really Black Ops fans here, apart from me, weirdly enough, on the campaign, not multiplayer. James, what did you think of this, first of all?
I like the spy kind of setting. I think it's set in the early 90s. And it's a little bit more back to basics, which I hate the Call of Duties where it was all war-winning, Titanfall types. So I'm really looking forward to seeing a little more stealth, with more variety. And as we saw in the after bit, the movement is going to be a bit more smooth all around. You can move in every direction. You can run every direction. What more could you ask for? Running and gunning. That's all I want.
I think I was saying this to James earlier. I think I reviewed the last Black Ops game for us, and I the campaign. I But I really enjoyed it. It had that kind of, there was this sort of bit when you have to go into the Russian embassy and sort of like get documents. It had that kind of spy, almost Splinter Cell kind of element to it. I thought a bit more of that stuff. It's a bit more than just sort of like shoot here, shoot there. So I'm quite excited about this. Paul, you excited about this?
No, I'm not really a COD guy.
No.
I can see that it looks quite good. And I would pay good money to see a video of you playing the multiplayer. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's very full of the set pieces you'd expect from COD. It's very bombastic. But it seems to have that little bit of extra stuff in it. So maybe this will be the year that I play one. Maybe not.
Well, it's on Game Pass, day one, October the 25th. Darren, what's going on with this? Did they say all the season expansions were coming to it or something for free? Is that right? Have I got that wrong?
Maybe. I didn't catch that at all.
You don't care, do you, about Call of Duty?
I couldn't care less about Call of Duty. I just want to... I was really tempted to interrupt Paul, but I know we can't. When he said he wasn't a COD man, but he is a keen fisherman, so I beg to differ on that, Paul. Not that you're able to comment, so that's absolutely fine. But no, it's going to be massive, isn't it? And it's on Game Pass day one, but it's just not really ever been my thing. I am curious, though. Why is it Black Ops 6?
Because of 5 before it.
Have there, though?
I don't know.
I'm just going off a rough guess,
I'm not convinced there have been.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
Anyway.
Paul, we're cutting you out there. Don't interrupt. Just disappeared.
Having a conversation.
I know, you can't. You've got to wait your turn. It's sad.
Do you know what?
Darren, I'm going to go... Go on.
I was just going to say something. I think the thing that you said about the expansions was what Phil was saying, which is that everybody's going to get the expansions at the same time because previously PlayStation got them earlier. So right. I think that's what you were talking about. I don't know if we get them for free, but everybody gets them at the same time rather than being PlayStation exclusive for a while.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Paul. Good for clearing that up.
Yeah, I just had something.
Oh my God, go on.
There has been 5. Number 5 was Cold War. It's called it Black Ops Cold War.
That's what I reviewed.
That's
what I reviewed.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And there's new assists in the game to help you run and jump and make it easier for the terrible players. See where I go.
Right, we're moving on because we've got 1,000 games to get through here. But Darren, over to you for the next one is the big reveal. Doom, the Dark Ages. You excited about this, Darren?
Very excited. And this was rumoured, that it kind of partially leaked, that there was going to be a Doom prequel set in the medieval times, and it looked very medieval from a lot of the structures and stuff we saw in the trailer. But yeah, it's a prequel to the first Doom, the reboot of Doom in 2016, and it's interesting. The setting they've gone for looks like all the kind of monsters you'd expect have returned, and potentially a few others as well. I think there was one that almost looked like a flying monster, and when it spread its wings, it was like a massive red kind of almost like energy beam, which was pretty cool. So there's all sorts going on, and I'm very, very excited. I think was there a weapon, if I'm right, where it crushed skulls and then fired fragments of skull at the enemies, which just looked insane. But yeah, it looks like great fun. I can't wait.
Paul, you like the look of this?
I did really like the look of this, and Darren was absolutely right with the skull crushing gun firing thing. That was good. But I also liked the shield that he was carrying that, seemed to turn into like a chainsaw and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see why in the story he's gone back to the medieval times, because, the medieval wasn't big on the double-barreled shotguns, which was the first thing he picked up. But, yeah, I'll be very interested to see what they can do with this. It looks absolutely bonkers.
I love the fact that you had a problem with the story.
Absolutely. Story's the most realistic thing.
Yeah, it's not realistic enough. It's been in hell on Mars.
But medieval is just a step too far. But
But is it, or is it just some medieval themed place? We don't know, I guess, do we? The shield thing's a good point, though. It was almost like Captain America's shield, where he was chucking it around like a frisbee, and it was coming back to him. That did look really cool.
It's coming in 2025. Game Pass.
Yeah, read my notes.
Oh yeah, go on, James.
Oh, Doom. That's it.
I knew it wasn't for you.
What's waiting for?
Good. The next one I'm going to chat about briefly, State of Decay 3. I've just written, great trailer. I really love that trailer, but I had no date, no gameplay. It's really weird with State of Decay because I'm going to say something really terrible.
Uh-oh.
It's not that hard of a game from the other two. I mean, it didn't ever look like a AAA game. Is that a bit cruel?
Yes.
Good. There you go.
But that's always been kind of the point, that it's not a AAA game.
Yeah.
It's just a game that's really well made, that's a lot of fun to play, but doesn't necessarily have the all singing, all dancing graphics. But I've enjoyed playing the first two, so I'm really quite excited for the third one.
I think my point was it's not like creating the whole Doom universe in medieval times. All I'm saying is get your asses out, get some gameplay, and they're on a date. That's what I'm saying. State of Decay 3. Good luck.
There you go. If you listen to that, the developers, Gareth has spoken.
Anyone? It's nice to hear Gareth get off the fence.
Yeah. But I like the trailer. Anyone want to talk about this before I move on? Oh, God. Paul, only speak when you've spoken to.
Put your hand up.
Jesus.
If I put my hand up, you can't see it.
We can on...
Good.
Yeah. I've asked you a direct question, Paul. That's it, and then you know. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I've just watched the gameplay thing at 4 o'clock today, so I've had a little bit of that. Never look at the chat. Who's excited about Dragon Age? Let's go to Paul. I think Paul might be excited about Dragon Age.
I'm excited about Dragon Age. I've played all of them so far, enjoyed them all. This one looks slightly different, if I can say that. I mean, obviously I haven't seen very much of the gameplay. I've only seen the trailer, but I'm cautiously optimistic about this. It seems to have been a long time coming, so hopefully they're going to get it right.
Yeah, looking at the gameplay today, it looked fine. It looked like a kind of like almost like a Witcher or Mass Effect, kind of like the gameplay sense. It did all work, looked good. There's something odd about it, but it looked good. But it's going to come 2024 in the fall. They're saying they haven't given it a date. They give it an end date on the gameplay. But yeah, it's good. It's good. Hopefully, it's another big game, another huge game coming in the autumn time. James or Darren, do you want to say anything about this? Nothing quite.
I mean, I'm not really up with Dragon Age, but some people have criticised a strong word. They've commented on the visual style, saying that characters look a bit like something out of a looter shooter online PvP, which isn't the tone it struck at the beginning of the franchise. So it has evolved and changed. So I think it's split an opinion in terms of the style and the vibe that this latest one's going for, but I don't really know any difference, so I'll just kind of go along with what people say.
I think, Darren, you're right. I think me and James had this conversation. We had a conversation off the podcast, but we said they've almost went for a kind of like in that trailer, almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy type thing, when it's kind of humour introducing each character.
Yeah.
And that didn't feel the right vibe for what it was in the past. It's quite a serious thing.
For its hardcore fans, it won't be to their taste at all. I'd be very disappointed.
But watching the gameplay, it had a kind of more of a serious tone, and had that kind of it didn't feel at all from the section they showed. So maybe it's just a trailer. Maybe they're trying to appeal to more.
It's a trailer.
Yeah. Good. Moving on. Starfield expansion. None of you have played Starfield yet, have you?
Not properly.
Which one's that? Is
Good.
that the one with the Millennium Falcon?
That's the one. Yes. The expansion's coming. We knew that was coming. Shattered Space. We knew about this for a while. It's coming in 2024, but no date. There's a creation kit. They're just probably going to download the next couple of days, which people will have fun with. I'm not ready to go back. I love Starfield. I really had a good time with it, but I'm not ready to go back in that for another couple of years. So it's not going to. Sorry, Darren.
Do you think? Oh no, I was going to say. Do you think that because Ryan was saying this when we were watching it, he was giving it all the it's not done as well as it was going to and all this. But do you think Starfield's going to be one of those Sea of Thieves type, No Man's Sky type games where it's going to build and build and build over the years as they keep supporting it? Because when I saw the trailer for Shattered Space, correct me if I'm wrong, it looked quite dark, different, kind of fantasy versus the first impressions of the base game. So there's literally infinite directions they can go in. So I've got a feeling it's going to be a slow burner and get better and better. I hope anyway, because I'm just hesitant to start it because I feel like I'm going to get sucked in for 100 hours or something ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they haven't got that multiplayer element to it, which those games have got that longevity on, But the creation stuff might do that. It's just, yeah. I mean, there will be a point when they just sort of go, it's Elden Scrolls now, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. In space.
Yeah. But it's coming. I think people will be excited. It's a bit too soon for me. Another expansion for Fallout 76. Who's played for it? We've played it. Paul, have you played it?
Yeah, I reviewed it.
Oh.
Apparently, Fallout 76 is a lot better these days, but it put me off. When I played it for review, it was in such a state that I didn't enjoy it at all, and I've not gone back since.
Oh.
So, Fallout 76 expansions are all very well, but not for me, thanks.
Well, you'll be reviewing that, though, for us, won't you?
Don't you threaten me.
Good. I think me and James we played it for a bit, did we, Jay?
And Richard.
And Richard, that was it, yeah.
And we streamed it. No one watched, but we streamed it.
Ah, brilliant. There you go. Good. Let's talk about a new game. Expedition 33, which is coming in 2025 to Game Pass. We saw a little bit of... Did we see any gameplay for this? We saw some sort of like walking through the environments.
We saw some gameplay.
What can James tell us about it?
What about the game or the gameplay?
Well, anything. I could take anything at this point.
The game is called
Space.
Expedition 33.
Yeah.
It's a turn-based RPG. And basically, you got to hunt down this paintress. And whatever number she paints, whoever in that world is that age dies. So you've got to go and kill her before she does it again. I think it's turn-based combat. I saw some like timed attack button presses, to boost the attacks. It's very much a turn-based affair.
Oh, okay.
But it looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like the look of it. I like the world as well. Paul, keen with this one?
I loved the premise of it. I thought that was such a cool thing. This painter goes and writes a number down and everybody who's that number dies. I thought that was a fantastic sort of spur to go on the story. But yeah, I mean, I'm all up for a turn-based RPG. So I'm quite excited.
It sounds like as well.
Souls-like. Wow.
Yeah.
Souls-like and turn-based. It sounds
Exactly.
like an ideal game.
Don't
Merry
talk.
Christmas, Paul.
Don't
Don't
talk.
talk over me, James.
Don't talk over. It cuts out.
What was that funky, though?
I feel like I'm being bullied.
Darren, sorry, Paul, shut up. Darren, anything to say?
Paul, quite ironically, stole the words right out of my mouth. The premise is what really pulled me in. And I just had this hilarious image of this paintress counting down until the world's just full of babies and it's game over when she gets down to like 3 or something and no one can stop her anymore. Wow. So it'll be interesting to see how how they kind of approach that, and do they acknowledge the fact that they've only got realistically so many years to stop her before it's kind of too late? Or I just love the idea, so it'd be interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah, another new game. It's exciting. Then we saw a bit more of we saw gameplay of South of Midnight coming out in 2025, Game Pass again. We saw some kind of battles, some sort of like platforming, some grapple hook stuff, if I remember rightly, around this kind of swamp area and evading this huge crocodile thing. This is great to me. I've got no problem with this. Anyone, Darren? Do you like the look of this?
Yeah, I did. I remember seeing this. Was it last year when it was first announced? And the kind of stop motion inspired visuals really, really caught my eye. I think it looks beautiful, and it feels like a different setting for one of these games. It feels different. You know, it's not like an identikit kind of adventure game or whatever. So I think it has a lot of character, and I'm really, really excited to. I think I'll be putting my name in the hat for this one, definitely.
Oh, there we go. Paul, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'll be kicking the hat out to Darren's way and putting my own name in. I thought it was great. I thought the whole setting was fantastic. The great big talking fish that she was riding at the beginning, I thought that was awesome. And then that massive crocodile. The action looked a bit sort of Souls-likey with a bit of extra bits added in. So the combat looked quite good. The traversal looked interesting. The flying around and she could glide with something. So yeah, all in all, I was quite impressed with this one. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. James, are you putting your hat into this as well?
I'm not going in near any hats. But I did like the talking creatures from this trailer and the last one. I think that have been the interesting part, the kind of creatures that you come across. Not sure about the fighting. We'll see. Yeah, that's good. Another exciting 2025 one. And then we had big old trailer for Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Yes.
Now, just before we talk about it, there was a sort of a leak by, I think it might have been Games Radar, who leaked it and said there was a date of November the 17th for this, then had to retract it after a Konami got on them and said, no, we made the mistake, it doesn't make any, there's no truth in it. It was a placeholder, but everyone got very excited that it's coming out this year. It still could, because there was no date or anything on it, but it was a pretty solid bit of gameplay and everything else. Darren, you went, oh yes.
Yeah, I remember playing this the first time round, and it's a fan favourite, and I remember the soundtrack just being amazing. So they tried to remake it once before for 3DS. It was a bit of a mess, to be honest. So this looks like it's going to be the real deal. I still can't remember why they called it Delta, so I keep calling it Metal Gear Solid Triangle, but I'm trying to remember the reason why it's called Delta. But regardless of that, I'll be getting this straight away.
Okay. James?
I think I played 5 minutes of Metal Gear, the first one, and an hour of cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid 5. So I might not play this one.
No, not for you. Paul, are you going to play this?
I'm looking forward to it. I just have to give you a virtual hat tip there for the pun that you led into this with, saying that there was solid gameplay on display. I thought that was quite clever. Well done, Gareth.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer looks great. I enjoyed it the first time around when I finished it back on the old PlayStation 2. So seeing what they can do with it with more powerful hardware, I think it could be something quite special.
I've said this before on the podcast. I missed this game. I didn't play it, so I've never played it, and so I'm very excited about it because I will get to play it in a sparkling universe. And so I've heard lots about it, but I'm really looking forward to this.
It's not for you.
Thing.
Yes, you can, James.
Just for Darren, they're using the Delta symbol because it means change or difference without changing structure. Because it's a remake, that's why they call it Delta.
Oh, interesting. I guess that's a good way of summing up the approach to a lot of these type of games. Oh, thanks, James.
Well done, James. That's why you're
Well
right.
done, Jay.
That's why you're here.
A bit of knowledge.
Yeah.
Dictionary corner.
Next game. God, we've got loads to get through here. Right, Flintlock is. We heard a lot about Flintlock, and then we saw some gameplay, and it's coming July the 18th on Game Pass. It's quite a shock. So quite next month, which is quite a shock. I mean, this is interesting. It's you got a little dog thing with you, haven't you? It looks. Is it Souls-like? I can't remember. Paul, do you know much about this?
It looked Souls-like to me. You've got your dog and whatever it is. I think he said he was a god in the trailer, but so yeah, you've got your thing that you can attack with, and you can do all the combat and stuff. And to me, it felt Souls-like watching it. So yeah, I'm quite interested for this one. July the 18th. I think I'll put my name down for this one as well. This sounds quite good.
Yeah. Good. Darren or James, you want to say anything about this? James, you weren't too keen, were you? I remember that you saying to me.
No, I have no interest. Apart from, it's a fox-like creature. It's not a dog.
Okay, thank you, James. Thank you.
It's an action role-playing game.
Yeah.
I don't think it sounds like.
Okay. Are you going to correct us in every game?
If you need it, yeah.
We need you.
Hopefully all night.
Just get your facts right, and you won't have to. There's a top tip, Gareth.
We need James for the general election for the things.
We
Give
do.
us- yeah.
I'd retire after that.
Darren, do you want to say anything about this before I move on?
It's not for me, but it looks good.
Yeah, okay. Age of Mythology, a quick note to that. Oh, God.
Yes.
Darren, tell us about this.
I'm so excited for this. This was overshadowed by Age of Empires, but it's such a great RTS game that I think it was the old Ensemble Studios that were part of Microsoft Games made back in the day. It's like Age of Empires, but you play all sorts of different races, and you can control different gods and stuff. It's just brilliant, and the trailer looked amazing. So we're Age of Empires, you kind of have battles and stuff. This had huge creatures smashing down towns and like big environmental events and stuff as well. So this was released over 20 years ago. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. And they got the control scheme so right with Age of Empires 2 on Xbox that I trust that this is going to be another must play. So I think Richard will love this as well.
Good. September the 4th, Game Pass. I didn't know anything about this, so it's good. I'm really excited. Good. I'm going to go on to a big one now. After I said about this game last podcast, we haven't heard anything about it. I think it's dead in the water. I'm wrong again. It's Perfect Dark. It's there.
Yes, it's alive.
It's not only alive, it's got a whole lot of gameplay and it looks great. This looked good, didn't it? Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God, I was really impressed by this. James, are you excited about this?
I have never ever been interested in Perfect Dark until that trailer. It looked so cool. I think the futuristic setting works for it. I think the gadgets are quite cool to use, and I think it would just be a bit of a good spy action thriller, probably like COD. I think they both were really good spy games. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it now, more than I thought I would.
Yeah, it looked amazing. Like a lot of gameplay there, which is great. Paul, you excited? You like the look of this?
I did like the look of this. I do like a shooter. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, obviously I can't match Darren's level of excitement. I think I heard him shouting from my house when it came on the showcase. But yeah, I'm reasonably excited about this. It should be pretty good.
And Darren, of course, you're over the moon.
I am. I think it's one of the reasons why I enjoyed the showcase so much, as we were talking a couple of weeks ago about this very game that seemed to have dropped off the edge of the earth. And I'll await your Rishi Sunak find it in our hearts to accept your apology, Gareth, moment in a second. But I think it just surpassed. It is Perfect Dark, but also it's a new generation. And as soon as Joanna Dark landed in that new Cairo, and just the world that she was. It almost was like Mirror's Edge at one point. You know, you're jumping around. There's loads of kind of acrobatics going on, loads of good gunplay, really kind of vibrant worlds, and it looks like there's going to be a really strong story behind it as well. So I'm really excited for this.
Good, great, really all excited. I'm going to talk just really briefly. Diablo, there's another bit of DLC coming in, a big whole content out. Vessel of Hatred, October the 8th.
Great trailer.
I mean, yeah, they're so good, Blizzard, at the trailers, aren't they?
Beautiful.
God, amazing. Yeah, amazing. Paul, do you want to say anything about this?
If you haven't played Diablo 4 already, go and play it, because it's on Game Pass. And this will be the next big story expansion. So, the trailer looked fantastic. They do a good line in trailers, do Blizzard. That's it, basically.
Good.
It's awesome. Play it.
Good. The next one is I'm very excited about this game. And I was more excited even watching this, was Fable, of course. We got introduced to Humphrey, which we were all trying to work out who it was. We worked out it was Super Hands, the actor who plays Super Hands. What I really loved about this is not the kind of all that stuff, but actually we just saw the main character moving through that world, and my God, that world looked amazing. Walking through that city, a little bit of combat, it just looked stunning, what you expect from Playground. But yeah, I just really want to play this now. And it's funny and it's interesting. It's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. Paul, you excited about this?
I am excited about it, and the thing that I was most happy to see, I mean, obviously the world looks great and everything like you said, but it was that the sense of humour is still intact that's run through the other games. So it's very sort of British humour in a way. But yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute stormer. So there may be a queue for the review code.
Yeah. Game Pass 2025. Darren and James. James, you liked this, didn't you?
I did, a lot. And I think it's clear that they've done a lot of work on the script, the characters, the visuals. It's just about the gameplay now. If that holds up, I could be looking towards a fantastic title. And I'm really excited.
Darren?
Yeah, I mean, I'll wave to you from front of the queue, Paul. But I loved the original Fable. It really captures the imagination back in the early noughties, and I think this is part of the reason why I love the showcase so much. Is there's games and franchises that I absolutely adored from when I was a teenager playing games, and it's kind of the next generation of these franchises that Xbox and the studios are picking up and bringing into the kind of new generation. So I totally agree with James. If there's enough to keep you busy and invested and get sucked into the world in terms of gameplay, then this could be a must play. So I'm really excited.
Brilliant. I'm going to move on to, I'm just going to give a quick mention to, I don't normally do this, there's a game that was shown called Fragpunk, and it looked like a sort of like 5 versus 5 shooter. But I quite like the idea that you have cards that you can use that affects what happens to the other players. So they showed a thing when you could use the big head card, and every one of the enemy has big heads that you can shoot. And I thought, this looks interesting. I like this. And there's a couple of, there's another kind of special thing they had as well. Yeah, it could be interesting. There's not a lot else. It's very quick. Unless someone wants to say anything about it.
Nope.
No,
I would have loved to have played it 10 years ago. Maybe 20 years ago. When I had a bit of youth. But nowadays, that's...
Yeah.
We're just going to get murdered out of our kids.
Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah.
In that game.
Yeah. Like me in London all the time. A game I like the look of. Mixtape is coming. Mixtape looks... lots of music from a certain era, but also there's kind of these following the 3 teenagers, but it looked really beautiful, the kind of visuals. There's one bit when they're kind of like biking or roller skating through, they're flying, aren't they, through this environment. Yeah, I like that. I love the look of this. Anyone else want to chat about that?
No. I agree with you. It reminds me of the kind of like a coming of age story, a bit like that. The mood that Stranger Things captures. A game I played a few years ago called Echo Generation, which is a bit like this. So it looks amazing. Really good.
Yeah, it's going to be very good. Paul's seething now at this point. He can't say anything about it.
I can say things, you just can't hear me.
James, what are you
I
going to
think
say?
for me, it depends on the soundtrack. If you get that right, I'll be interested. I mean, I saw the Joy Division, which that's all right. Devo, no. Susie and the Banshees, yeah. So if you get that right, I'll be interested.
Okay.
But I need to know you're on the track list.
It's from published by Annapurna and developed by the same people who did The Artful Escape. So
Yes.
I'm hoping you'll be sorted out there because I think they'll get it right.
So.
Oh, I love the Artful Escape. I love that.
I'll wait to hear from you two.
Yeah.
You can tell me. It's worth my time.
A big mention out here for Microsoft Flight Sim. It's back. Jobs is coming, baby. 2024, November 19th. This is what I want. Some purpose rather than just flying aimlessly around the world trying to work out how to land a big plane. I like this. I want to play this. I'm into it.
I swear I said that last time now.
I did.
He did, yeah.
But it didn't come out. We heard about it last year, and this has taken us a whole year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to get it back. I want to be. I said this last time. I want to just fly VIPs while they're doing cocaine and murdering people in the back. I'll just ignore it.
That's a very, very specialised niche you've carved out for yourself there.
Yeah. Crying, trying to cover up crimes. Oh, good. So that's coming November the 19th. That's going to take up all the whole hard drive, that and COD. There was a rumour about COD today. It was 300 gigs, wasn't it? Oh, God. Yeah.
It's not now.
No. How are we doing for time? I'm all right. Good. Life is Strange 3. Another game that we love. James, we love this, don't we? You talk about this.
Yeah, so Life is Strange, double exposure. And they brought back Max Caulfield from the first game. And a friend's dead. Not a great start to the game. But she's got magical powers, of course. She can bend time. So now she can actually move between timelines into one where a friend's not dead. And you're going to have to solve the murder and prevent her being killed in the other timeline. So I think it could be quite a good murder mystery. And I'm really excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'll be flicking out the queue for that one. Guaranteed. Step back, Gareth.
Oh my God!
Step back.
Yeah. Where were you for the last one I did? You didn't get involved in it.
That wasn't original.
That was true.
Original cast.
True Colours. They were. Some of them were in there. One of the main.
It's a budget spin-off. Straight to the
yeah, Life is Strange. It's really good. Darren, you excited about this?
I'm a big fan of these types of games, these narrative-driven games. I think, and it's got a good pedigree. So yeah, I think it'll be really good.
I'm missing a few things out here, so at the end, if you shout the thing. Paul, I'm not going to get to you in Life is Strange. I've got a feeling you're not going to like it.
I'm not a fan,
no.
I have to say, but the setting for this one intrigued me. I like the hopping between the timelines and trying to find out who's going to kill your friend as well as who has killed your friend. I thought that looked quite interesting. I might give that one a go.
Okay. God. Okay. Good.
Right.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is coming 2024 on Game Pass. We saw a big old sort of bit of the story, kind of chunk of trailer. Not a trailer. We saw a big sort of chunk of in the middle of the story. I think what's the name doing an impression of Harrison Ford is amazing. His intonation in his voice is like unbelievable. Yeah. I'm still really looking forward to this. James, what did you say about this? What was your concern?
Is it about the melee combat, maybe?
Mm.
And the fact that it feels like a film, but it just seemed to miss something. I don't know. I thought it was alright, but I didn't get any magic from it.
Okay.
It's like watching a film, but obviously not a very good one. The soundtrack was good though,
Yeah.
It felt like a late 80s, early 90s, action film. The soundtrack.
I know what you mean about that.
I lost me at Choo Choo, Choo Choo.
Oh, no,
That lost me.
I like that. I quite like that bit. But it did. It did. I know what you mean about. Oh, I hope we're not just going to be watching a sort of like a bad version of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul, what was your thoughts about this?
My thoughts sort of mirrored yours, really. I thought it looked quite good. It looked very interesting, and the some of the set pieces look quite good, like that battleship that we saw balanced on a glacier. So yeah, I thought that was quite funny, and I thought the choo choo guy was quite amusing.
Yeah, I liked
made
it.
me smile.
Yeah.
So, I think James is just miserable.
Yeah.
So
That's rich.
Darren,
there was the joy in the showcase. No, I think it looks really good. That every time I see this, I like the look of it more. I think the Choo Choo Man is exactly what Indiana Jones is. You don't want to go down the serious road of Nazis. You want to see him punch a load in the face and stuff. For me, it mirrors the films really well, and I wouldn't mind sitting through the odd 5-minute cutscene every now and then at key points in the story if it sets up a set piece or whatever, because it's based on a film franchise. So I'm really looking forward to this. I hope it lives up to how good I think it's going to be.
Great, good. As I said, I might be missing out a few. Michelle, if you find me with your favourites. But let's talk about Avowed. We saw a little bit more of Avowed. Really small bit of
that.
Yeah. It was like you blink and you missed it. But they did do other bits. I think they've done sort of the deeper dives later on with it. But it's not much different to what we know before. We've seen bits of it before. Magic and combat, different environments. 2024 it's coming still. They haven't got a date yet. A little bit worried about this. I don't know why. Anyone else?
no,
Yeah,
just you.
I was surprised at the lack of date. I think if there's one criticism of the showcase that I could levy, it was there weren't enough dates. It was all just 2024 or 2025 or that type of thing. So I get what you mean, Gareth.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it could be great. It could be great. One I quite like the look of is Atom 4. That's coming in 2025 on Game Pass. Is that the guys who did the game I reviewed?
Cypher Elite.
Oh, is it them? Oh, not
Rebellion,
them.
I think.
Oh, is it Rebellion? Okay.
It's Rebellion.
Okay.
Sniper Elite, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we just saw a little trailer. Looks like a sort of like Fallout in the UK, didn't it?
In the Lake District, yeah.
Yeah. It looked good.
It did.
Yeah. It's quite exciting. Always good to have a new kind of like game coming out. Paul, are you excited about that?
I'm excited about that. It did look very good, and it looked quintessentially British. So, the bringing red phone box at the end of the trailer and everything else. I think this could be something quite good. Rebellion are good at doing like shooting games and stuff, as we know with the Sniper Elites. So turning their hand to something a bit different, I'm interested to see what they can come up with.
Darren?
Yeah, as soon as I saw it set in the Lake District, it's one of my favourite parts of the country. I was hooked, so I'll probably play it just to be curious as to the setting more than anything.
And sorry, James, you were going to say something.
Just the two things that put me off it. One character carried a gun upside down, and the torch didn't work properly. So I don't know what the point of it was. I just want to be the customer.
Wow, there you go. I missed all that.
See, I didn't even notice the upside down gun. Well spotted, James.
No worries, that's what I'm here.
Yeah. So it's a fact finder and spotter.
Here.
Yeah.
Escaped.
Sleuth.
Yeah. Good. Let's talk about. We're nearly at the end of this. Is Stalker 2, which we sort of knew was coming. September the 5th on Game Pass. We saw a bit more of the gameplay, a bit more of the kind of world. It does look great, doesn't it, Darren? It looks good, doesn't it?
It really does, and I was really excited about this I think it was slated to land on Game Pass October 2023, if I remember, around about there. Then obviously with the developers being Ukrainian and what's happening in the world, it's been pushed back, but it's still on track to look brilliant. I really like the look of this.
Yeah, it does look. Paul, you a stalker? Have you played it before?
No. And I don't know, there's something about it that it doesn't grip me. It looks a bit too much like, do you remember the Metro games?
Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoyed those, but this just looks like a tarted up version of one of those. I'll give it a try, but I'm not expecting great things from it, to be honest.
Well, there you go. Use that on the box, a tarted up version of the Metro series.
Oh, massive.
Yeah, I
feel like
you can have that.
I'll have to go back 30 years to get that one.
James, you're not going to play this. We know I'm not going to talk to you about it.
No, I don't have any interest.
James said to me before the podcast, not like me and James, sounds like me and James are having a kind of debrief before we start. But he
Sounds
said,
like you're having an affair.
Yeah. He said to me, there's rumours of a new console, and I hope not. And we were just talking about that, saying they can't do another console because they can't sell the other one. Get them to do one.
Yes, they can.
But yeah, they have got. But I'm really pleased they're not sort of what they call mid-season consoles with a little upgrade. They're just digital versions only, and one with a 2 gigabyte hard drive, called a special one. So, and there
2 gigabytes.
2 gigabytes, yes.
That was a bit much, wasn't it?
Wow.
2 gig. It's not going to do much for 400 quid.
Well, have you seen how much it is?
Supposedly,
it's supposed to be about $600.
Oh, God.
The 2 terabyte one. Now, it's called a special edition, so maybe they're only going to make a few of them, but can't you buy an additional terabyte extension card and just plug it into the back of your own Xbox for cheaper than that?
Yeah.
Yes, you can, because I have one.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it will be an actual special edition, but I looked at that and thought, I can't remember where I read it. Maybe it's just not confirmed, but I thought, bloody hell, that's expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think PlayStation are going to do their one the rumour is it's going to happen, their mid-season upgrade console is going to happen this year. So it's good they haven't gone along, because there's no point. We don't know what the Series X are only started to do now. The last thing of the conference.
Yes. Yes.
Gears of War's E-Day.
Always there.
Yeah. Paul.
Honestly, the number of times I was actually trying to find it today. I've actually written on the site a lot of times about why don't they go back to the beginning? Why don't they go back to E-Day when the Locust first arrived? And now they finally are. And I was watching the trailer. My son was sat next to me, and I was saying, that's Marcus Phoenix. And he said, it can't be. Marcus Phoenix is old. Because obviously he's played Gears 4 and 5. And I was like, no, that's Marcus. That's definitely Marcus. And then there was this massive fight, and it was brilliant. And then Dom turned up, and at that point, I was just sold. Yeah, just take my money. I'll have it. I don't care if it's on Game Pass or what. I need this game. So, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm ambivalent about it at best.
Good. There you go, Paul. I was gonna slag it off, but I can't do that. I can't break Paul's heart or his son's.
No.
Darren, what do you think?
I am very, very excited as well. I know how much you love Gears, Paul, so I won't try and fight you in the queue for this one, but I played Gears since the beginning, and I long thought the same. It wasn't the game I expected, because I was expecting Gears 6, but I am really excited because it sounds like they're going to go back to basics with it. It'll be more of a linear game like the early days, and it's going to really hone in on the horror and the kind of grittiness of E-Day and how life-changing that event was for all the characters in the game. And yeah, seeing Dom turn up as well, that's when I thought, oh, hang on, there's something else going on here, because I wasn't sure whether it was Marcus or not as well. So yeah, this is going to be brilliant. I can't wait. I'll get it on day one as well.
Good. James?
Very excited as well.
Oh.
Only slight caveat, is that we're going back in time,
Mm.
so we're going to miss out on some weapons, some locust types. Is how to deal with that, as to whether it'll be a great game or just alright. I think the story will be great, because it'll be another bromance epic. But yeah, I think the fact that we'll lose some things could be an issue. Because it is way before the original game. So, you don't have the same technologies. So, yeah, it's interesting what they'll do.
If you follow the sort of canon of the games, they will have a lot more technology on E-Day, because they lost a lot of it when they fried the cities with the Hammer of Dawn.
Well, we know we don't have chainsaws.
No, they've got the bayonet ones. So,
Yeah.
but there should theoretically be more stuff available, not less.
I hope so.
I hope so too, James. I'm right there with
That's all we
you.
need.
I think they
We
will.
need this, don't we?
They will have new stuff that we haven't seen in previous games, and they'll explain why it's not turned up in the other games. Probably. I think for me, I think it'll be like probably a coming in age story of characters like Marcus and stuff, as well as we know him in the later games. For me, one of the best bits of the trailer was hearing that instrumental of Mad World kick in as well, because that's what they used on the original advert for the game. So I just thought it was very, very well done. And as a one more thing, I don't think anybody could have really asked for anything better, if I'm being honest, from an Xbox conference.
Yeah, no, good. There you go. The Xbox conference. Well done. Yes, so let's just talk briefly about Ubisoft that we saw.
Very briefly.
Briefly about that. So I said to these guys on Discord 20 minutes in, I said, jokingly, we've got 20 minutes of Star Wars and it should be another half an hour of Assassins. I think that might be it. And I wasn't that far off, really. Yeah, so we just basically had two huge kind of gameplay segments of the two big games. So let's just talk about those first of all, and the rest of them are games they've already got. So Star Wars Outlaws, we saw kind of like a 20-minute section of that. I'm fully in on this game. I think it looks great. And we saw the sort of combat. We saw the idea of going, interestingly, straight into a planet from space, having a space fight, and then going straight, landing your space shuttle, and then going into the town. Yeah, for Star Wars fans, it's really good. There seems to be lots going on, lots to do. Some of the environments are excellent. I'm a big fan of this. I'm totally in. It's coming out August 31st. Who else is with me? James?
I think you're going on your own, mate. I just like the side character. Is it Nix?
Yeah.
The little
Yeah.
creature. Other than that, I just couldn't get excited for it.
Oh.
I don't know why. I don't want to see dogfights in space. I didn't enjoy them in the other games. I don't do it in this. Yeah, not for me.
Not for you, Darren. For you, anything there for you?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it looks great. I'm going to back you up there, Gareth. Good. I think the more I see of it, the more I like the look of it, and I am a Star Wars fan. So yeah, sign me up.
Good. There you go. What about you, Paul?
No, I'm with James on this one. It looks like Ghost Recon Star Wars. It's
exactly.
It's just not floating my boat. There's nothing I've seen there that makes me think I've got to play this. So yeah, there you go. Sorry,
good.
Mate.
No, it's all right. It's good. Good. The rest of the thing, before we get to Assassins, were kind of games that are already there. And there were sort of things like the new season of The Crew, new story expansion for Avatar, the maddest Skull and Bones season 2. That it was like
was going on?
It just got bigger and bigger. It was like, first of all, it was like these new ships, then these new characters, then there were Jaws. And then there was
and then a dragon.
Then a dragon. At one point, I thought they were going to take him into space. I thought they were going to be in space now. These ships.
On season 3.
Unbelievable. And why was that guy talking so far away from the camera? Who's directing that? Yes. So there you go. Sorry, that was my only mention of that. But we're talking about the only announcement of something. But we had Assassin's Creed Shadows, so we saw quite a bit of info about that, which was the weather and the sort of different seasons, which are the new things for Assassins. And then we saw a kind of like a bit of a gameplay of going into a kind of mission and how you can control the two characters, and they've got very completely different styles. Like the guy is this kind of like very brutish, kind of like whacking people with a huge club, and then the woman is much more like an Assassin's Creed, kind of like sneaky on rooftops, taking out people stealthily, but also some good combat. Even though it's a kind of new environment, it's a new environment that people wanted for such a long time in Japan. It's still, for me, I just kind of know those games so well. I kind of went, oh yeah, it's an Assassin's Creed game. I kind of know where I am with this bit. What did you not newcomers? You've played a bit of it, but not much of it. What did you think of it, Paul?
I thought it looks good. I've been crying out for a setting like this in feudal Japan, so I am going to give this the benefit of the doubt and play it. I'm not sure about the two characters. I think if I had the choice, I'd play as the ninja girl rather than the great big smack 'em about with a big stick samurai fella. But yeah, I mean, the settings, it looks good. The combat, when it showed the combat with the samurai fella, that was properly brutal and it looked quite stylish. It's not quite Ghost of Satsuma level, but it looked okay. But the sneaking about and being a ninja that the girl was doing, I thought was very good indeed. So, yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about this one.
Good. James?
I'm just worried that you two can't name the characters.
Oh, I know.
This guy and this girl.
Yeah.
And
Don't you two near the review?
Well,
Definitely not.
when I write the review, it'd be that woman and that man with a club. Yeah.
Can I just say, I agree with Paul in that the gameplay as Nawe, the shinobi, looks a lot more exciting, enjoyable, and interesting than the samurai Yasuke. So yeah, I'll be playing as the shinobi every opportunity, I think. I like the setting, obviously. So, yeah, I think I'm playing this day one with the review code in hand.
Yeah, good, James. I'd like to see you do it. I'll put you down now.
There'll be tears in London if you get that review code, James, I'll tell you.
It's about time you didn't do one.
It's true.
Too samey.
It's true, exactly. I think that's just really briefly. That's really interesting because I think having those two styles are almost the two different kind of ways of Assassin's Creed, the two opposite things. So it's almost like the big guy is almost like the Valhalla type combat with his big sort of swords, and the woman is much more like, recently we've had Mirage. I think they'd be much more kind of those stealthy gameplay tactics. You can use environmental to take people down. Yeah, I think they're kind of catering for both in this, which is a good thing. Darren, any thoughts before we move on?
No, I agree with you all. I think it looks good, and it might make me finally play one of the open world Assassin's games.
Good, there you go. The only other one I mentioned was Anno 117 is coming to the Xbox Series X in 2025. A big fan of Richard's a big fan of that franchise. It's a good little city building sim thing. And then Prince of Persia, we had a sort of like an announcement. Tell us about this announcement, Darren.
Well, I said before the podcast, as I've been saying for about 10 years now, if Ubisoft confirm or show us more of either Prince of Persia remake, Splinter Cell remake, or Beyond Good and Evil 2, I'll be a happy man. And my God, did they deliver by the thinnest of margins, because we saw a candle go out and then Prince of Persia 2026, no less, and that was it. Off the back of some DLC for The Lost Prince, and I think that rogue cartoon comic style Prince of Persia game. So yeah, slim pickings, but it does exist, which I guess we should be grateful for.
And then right at the end, The main guy came out again, and the whole of the creative team, who some of them look like they're at gunpoint, are standing there.
Even the audience.
And
Threatening them with.
and then he just said, and that's it. And that was it. What the worst ending to? It was just pointless. It was so weird. What was your thoughts?
What it looked like?
Go on, Dan.
Sorry, it looked like, when all the world leaders gather at like a COP26 conference or something, they're all awkwardly stood there waiting for the photos.
Yeah.
It looked like that.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's disappointing, isn't it, Darren?
Yes,
Yeah.
mainly because they accidentally, if I'm right, Richard will know, didn't they accidentally release the remake of the first Beyond Good and Evil and then pulled it?
Yeah.
Was it Beyond Good and Evil? It was something. And then they said, oh, no, and pulled it. We haven't. I assume Beyond Good and Evil 2 is dead, but they just need to tell us. Splinter Cell remake's in limbo. I don't know what's happening with that, why they can't show us some more. And Prince of Persia remake, we don't really know anything more. And considering they gave Jeff heads up on Star Wars and they gave Xbox heads up on Assassin's Creed Shadows, there wasn't really a lot in there, was there? Let's be honest.
No.
Where was the awkward dancing segment?
Yeah.
I mean, has that been cancelled as well? That
Dancing?
yeah, the
No,
Just
it's not for loose.
Just Dance. There's no Just Dance, is there? I think it's gone.
No, there's a VR. It was in the pre-show. There's a VR Just Dance.
Right.
Yeah.
There wasn't much about it now.
Paul loved this showcase, didn't you, Paul?
Can I just say the best part of that show for me was when they were playing those drums before they brought Assassin's Creed on.
Yeah.
I thought the playing the massive drums, I thought that was really quite good. So, yeah, but the rest of it was shit. I mean, a bit rubbish, sorry.
I think they've obviously had financial problems. They've laid a lot of people off, right? They've had some terrible sort of in-house stuff as well, which we won't talk about. But save some money. Keep a couple of those people on and don't do the showcase. Because you don't need to do that showcase, especially when you haven't got anything that much to show and the two biggest games have already got release dates.
Yeah, it's true, as you said, in the Xbox showcase, there was less kind of yakety yak from a host who it was kind of all about them, like in Summer Games Fest, and it was more just about here's a game. And the best thing about the Xbox showcase, I know we're talking about Ubisoft, is they had the voiceover back who said world premiere at the beginning of each one, which we haven't had for years. So I was very happy about that.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, I think it was a really disappointing one. But there you go. That's our showcase is done. There's a few more other ones to catch up on the next week for people, but that's for us. So that's enough of that. I think we all agree Xbox have won it, don't we? I think we did. Yeah. I think we not won it. Yeah. But the best one. Not winning, but yeah.
They've won the season, I think. I think it was the best showcase. Certainly, maybe not of all time, but it was certainly the best showcase of this bunch that's been out, starting with the State of Play and then finishing at Ubisoft. I think Xbox smashed it.
There we go. Good. Final words from Paul. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time for the last couple of podcasts, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.